How many of you know that prophecy is contingent based upon what you do? I will say it again because I know some of you did. You heard me, but you didn't hear me. Prophecy is contingent based upon what you do. So after you get the prophecy, be careful of what you do, because once prophecy goes forth, it dictates prophecy coming to pass. Back in the book of Genesis chapter 12, to be exact, God gave Abraham a prophecy. He gave him a prophecy. How many of you know that prophecies have strategy? A lot of times we think that because we see people prophesying or we hear people giving prophecy a lot. Oh yeah, they the prophet, they the prophet, they the prophet, they the this, they the that, they the this, they the that. No ma'am, no sir, no ham, no cheese, no turkey. Just because you get prophecy does not make you a prophet. As a matter of fact, it makes you far from a prophet. What it really makes you is a seer. See, a lot of people are confused by people perish for lack of knowledge, and all of that get it and understand. For those who know me, know that Proverbs is one of my favorite books of the Bible besides Jeremiah. So, people prophesy a lot and they put the word out there, and that's what they're supposed to do because they have a gift. And what it is the gift of a seer. They're a seer, they have the gift of prophecy. And even though they have the gift of prophecy, you too can prophesy. Why? What is prophecy? Prophecy is nothing but the word of God. So as I just read the scripture, that's what I did. I prophesied. So if you read your Bible, when you open your Bible and you speak the word of God, you too have prophesied. However, when you get a prophecy from a prophet, it always comes with strategy. That's why prophecy is contingent. Prophecy is contingent, it has an order, and it comes with strategy. There are three components of prophecy coming to pass when a prophet gives you a word. There's the prophecy slash the promise. There's the strategy. And what the strategy does is the strategy gives you a command or a directive. And then there is prophecy coming to pass. That's the promise coming to pass. So earlier when I said that God's word and God's promises are yes and amen, they are yes and amen, but it's contingent based upon what you do with it. Hello? It's based upon what you do with the word. Okay? So, back in Genesis, the Lord had given Abraham all three, even before or between chapters 12 and 13. The promise had come to pass, but God still had more for Abraham. Let me help you out. Genesis 12, 1 through 3 reads, Now the Lord, not later, now the Lord had said to Abraham, from your family, get out of your country, from your family, and from your father's house, to a land I will show you. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you, and I will make your name great. How many of you know that some of you who have already taken those steps, some of you who have walked away from your familiar place, your familiar land, away from the land that you knew as home, away from your family, the Lord is making your name great. Right now as I speak, I decree and declare that the Lord is making your name great. He is placing your name in the atmosphere. He is placing your name in places and spaces that you are not even qualified for, but his promises shall come to pass over your life. I felt that fall into my spirit, so I had to get that declaration and that prophecy. And it has gone forth. So it is, and it is so in the name of the Lord. Verse 2 says, I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. 3 reasons. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you. And in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. This was a transition that was coming forth. How many of you guys know I've been talking about shifting season, been over where season of transition? This was a transition. Throughout the transition of this story, God had given Abraham 14 commandments. He had given Abraham 14 commandments. So he gave him the prophecy. And remember, I said strategy. He gave him strategy. So the strategies are the commandments, the strategies are the directives, the strategies are the instructions. He gave Abraham 14 commandments. Get out of your country. Leave your kindred. Leave your father's house. Go to a land I will show you. Arise. Walk through the land. Make a sacrifice to me. Walk before me and be perfect. Keep my covenant. Circumcise all your days. Circumcise on the 8th day. Call your son's name Isaac. Obey, husbands don't like this part. Obey your wife in this matter. Y'all think y'all slick. Wives, submit it to your husband. Wives, obey your husband. But, did I just get that? However, number 12, obey your wife in this matter. Number 13, offer Isaac as a sacrifice. And number 14, lay not your hand upon Isaac. 14 commandments God has given with this prophecy. But from these 14 commandments, there were 48 promises that followed. And because Abraham was able to endure for the promise, prophecy is still coming to pass even today. Look at your neighbor and ask them, are you able to endure for the promise? Go ahead, I was serious. Look at your neighbor and ask them, are you able to endure for the promise? I'm glad you asked. Hello? The Lord didn't give Abraham no penny and nickel kind of promises. The Lord gave Abraham prominent and lucrative promises. Prominent and lucrative promises. I'm going to give you just a few. The Lord said, I will show you the land. And the Lord began to show him the land. How many of you have prayed and asked God for certain things that you know you heard the voice of God and God has shown you this shall be yours? The Lord promised Abraham, I will make of you a great nation. And even as it comes to pass today, we are a part of the great nation of Abraham. How many of you remember the song from back in the day? Father Abraham had many sons. Son said, Father Abraham, I am one of them, and so are you. So let's just praise the Lord. It has come to pass. One of the promises God gave Abraham was, I strange. Count it not strange that you opened your eyes this morning. Count it not strange that currently you are inhaling the infinite breath of God and exhaling the Holy Spirit. Count it not strange as you inhale and exhale that you are now hooked up to a respirator, now hooked up to a life support. Nobody is performing CPR, but you are inhaling and exhaling at your own free will with dominion and purpose. God said, I will bless you. I count life to be a blessing. The Lord promised Abraham, I will make your name great. Some of the rooms that you have entered, some of the tables that you have sat at, some of the doors you have walked through has been because He has made your name great. The Lord promised Abraham that you will be a blessing. How many of you have been able to give it to others, although some have given to you? It is a blessing to be able to be the lender and not the borrower. It is a blessing to be able to be the seed sower. It is a blessing to be able to release all to make. Seed, sowing, and alms are all different things, but that's another class. We'll tap into that later. The Lord gave Abraham a promise. I will bless those who will bless you. How many of you have seen people who have blessed you, people who have sown into you, people who have given to you, people who have prayed for you, people who have spoken into you, people who have covered you? How many of you have had the opportunity to see the blessings of the Lord on their behalf? Yeah. God's promises are yes and amen. One of the promises God gave Abraham was, even I will curse those who curse you. How many of you have seen the moments where you let God be doing He's more than the world against you, the where people have done you in and done you wrong, and you took your hand off of the situation, and baby, God has got you back quicker and deeper than anything you could have ever done to Him. Because God's promise is He will curse those who have cursed you. A promise God gave Abraham, in you all nations will be blessed. I will give this land to your seed forever. I will make your seed as to the destination of numbers as it is numbered in the sand. Watch this. This is one of the favorite promises that God has given. Because He's given it to Abraham, He has given it to you. Because you are a seed of Abraham, you are a descendant of Abraham. One of the promises that God gave Abraham, that is now your promise, is, I am your shield. I am your shield. God is your protector. Though the weapon may form, the reason it shall not prosper is because of Abraham, because the promise God gave was, I am your shield. I'm speaking to the children today. If you are a child, I'm speaking to you today. I believe we all came through a womb of a woman. I am speaking to the children today. The protection that has been upon your life, the covering that has been upon your life, it is because you are a descendant of your parent, and because the Lord has promised your parent, I am a shield over you. Therefore, He has shielded you. It's because of your parents that the hand of the Lord continues to prevail in your life. Even before your entrance into the world, you were being covered, you were being shielded, you were being prayed for. So those prayers, the favor, the grace, the mercy that was upon the life of your parents is now an overflow. And now the Lord is too, as in also your shield. Another promise is, I am your rewarder. In this season, I decree and declare that you will never need another man or woman to affirm nor confirm who the Lord has already called you to be. Why? Because the Lord has already said, I am your great reward, which means he is the only one who can elevate you, therefore being the only one that can bring you down. So when God takes you up, even the devil in hell cannot bring you down. The promise of the Lord is, I will punish your oppressors. I will bring your seed out of bondage. I will bless your seed with great material substance. That was good to me. I will bless your seed with great material substance. How many of you heard me say that the Lord didn't give Abraham no penny and nickel kind of promises? The promises were prominent and lucrative. I will bless your seed with great material substance. That's tangible stuff. That's money, houses, land, property, businesses, stocks, bonds, lucrative, prominent. Don't let nobody tell you that God will only give you what you need. When they say God gives you what you need, but not what you want, I want you to look them and stand flat-footed, look them square dead in the eye and tell them, I know you are lying. Because the word of God says he will give me what? The desires of my heart. And because God made a promise, I will bless your seed with great material substance. It shall be yours. God even gave Abraham a promise that you will die in peace. Peace. You will be a father of many nations. I will be your God and also the God of your seed. I will make a covenant with your seed eternally. Lord, I thank you. I'll make a covenant with your seed eternally. This was in the book of Genesis. This was in the Old Testament where God said, I will make a covenant with your seed eternally. How many of you know what eternally means? Never ended, forever. When I found that promise, never ending, forever, I was reminded that grace and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Grace and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. Why? Because that eternal covenant that he made with the seed of Abraham, which is you, was like Jesus. Because when he did it once, and he did it for one, he did it for who? All. I did it for one and I did it for all. And I'm going to tell you how bad he was after he said that. Guess what he said? It is finished. That's a bad never jammer show up. What? Shut your mouth. It is finished. But these promises that came to pass and are still coming to pass was not because Abraham was so kind. It was not because Abraham was so nice. It was not because Abraham was so pleasing. It wasn't because Abraham was so fine. It was not because Abraham was so giving. It was not even because of the favor that was upon Abraham. But it was because Abraham was obedient. y'all know about long suffering. Abraham was able to endure. Endurance is not an overnight thing. Endurance is a lifelong thing. That is why you have to have the spirit of long suffering. We all know that that is the fruit that nobody wants. We be like, I'll take the fruit of kindness, I'll take the fruit of meekness, I'll even take the fruit of patience. But long suffering, oh my God. Come on now, how many of y'all want the fruit of long suffering? Don't nobody want to suffer long. If I suffer, I don't want to suffer long. Even the man that got shot, I'm suffering, but don't let my suffering be long. What they used to say back in the day in the old movies, if you won't do it quick. Jesus even said that to Judas. Judas, do it quickly. Come on, do it quickly. Long suffering is a fruit that nobody wants. Nobody wants to suffer long, but out of obedience, Abraham had to leave the only place he knew at home. And not only did he have to leave, Abraham was 75 years old when the Lord had him to leave home. That's where he was comfortable. He knew the man at the milk store. He knew the postal worker that came and dropped off his daddy's mail. He knew the principal down at the school because him and all his siblings had all went to Vibrant Elementary School on the west side of Chicago. He knew the candy store Miss Google across the street. He even knew Big Daddy, who stayed over at 4711 right off of their own place. He knew everybody. Don't nobody want to leave and go nowhere when you watch the say, well, everybody knows your name. But at the age of 75, out of obedience, he had to leave home. He had to leave his family and his father's house. Who wants to walk away from their family and their parents when you know for sure and for certain those are the people who got your back? He ended up going out of obedience to a foreign land where he knew no one and he knew nothing. Abraham went through some stuff, y'all. Yeah. Abraham went through some stuff to get to some stuff. Enduring out of obedience is not easy, but it is worth it to get to the promises that God has for you, to get to what God has for you, but not only what God has for you, but what God has for those that you love, for what God has for everyone that is attached to you. Obedience is better than sacrifice. It's time, y'all. It is time for you to begin to reposition and reposture yourself in a posture of obedience. It's time to obey. It's time to obey. Look at your neighbor and say it is time to obey. Look at your neighbor and say that it is time to obey. Tap yourself on the shoulder and say, self, it is time to obey. Obedience to the call upon your life. Obedience in letting go of those people, places, and things God has called you to come out of. It is time to obey. Obedience to turning down your place. That place that God has commanded you to sacrifice in. It's time to be obedient. Obedience is obedience. It's time to write the vision, time to write the book, time to buy the property, time to move out of that old neighborhood, time to buy a new house. Yes, it's time to obey. It's time to become the staple, not just in the community, but the staple in your circle, in your bloodline, in your family. It's time to become the leader God has called you to be. It's time to obey. It's time to obey. It's time to submit to the promises of God upon your life. But the promise will not come without enduring. The promises will not come without enduring. In order to get something, you gotta give something. In order to get something, you have to go through something. Yeah, I got that from our girl, that is right, but I promise it's the truth. In order to get something, you got to give something. In order to get something, how many of you know that you got to go through something? There'll be days where you will have to endure. There will be days you will have to weather the storm. There will be seasons during the transition where there'll be more tears than smiles, more heartache than happiness, more lint in your pocket than money, more haters than celebrators. There will be times where you will have more opposition than acceptance. There are times where you'll have more thrown at you than support given to you. There'll be more times when you will have more joy snatchers in your life than peace makers. You'll see seasons where you'll have more time, more waiting time than acceleration time. More time being hidden than more time being exposed. More time in the wilderness and the valley than celebrating on the mountaintops. More time being processed than being presented. More time being planted and pruning and pressing, and this comes right before the promises are given. But if you can just endure for just a little while longer, I promise you that the promises shall come to pass, and I'll put that on God. I promise you. Hang in there just a little while longer, and the promises will come to pass. And this time when it comes to pass, because of your obedience, you will be edified, your family will be edified, your friends will be edified, your community will be edified, and everybody attached to you will be edified. This is the season where everything attached to you shall win. Everything attached to you will be edified. Why? Because you have endured and endured patiently by obedience. But as I bring this word to a close, the Lord knew that you would not have the power to endure it on your own. The Lord knew you wouldn't have the power to endure it on your own. The Lord knew that I would not have the power to endure it on my own. Although I make the choice I decree and declare that endurance is your portion. But I decree and declare right now that you do not have to endure it alone. You do not have to walk the journey alone. You do not have to stand alone. You do not have to fight alone. You do not have to cry alone. You do not have to lose alone. And when you win, it won't be alone. You will be able to endure all of it because of a saint that came as a promise for you. As she said, I got good news. I got good news. Today I offer you a promise that cannot return void. Today I offer you a promise, and it is yes and amen. Today I offer you a promise where you will be able to endure it all, even into the end. And the promise is Jesus. Make a decision today that you will not endure this journey alone. Make a decision today that out of obedience, I'll have it to endure for the promise. If you are ready to walk into that transition of promise, make a declaration with me today. Lord, I believe that you sent Jesus